It's an honor to be here today. First, let me read the proclamation from the governor's office. It reads, whereas thousands of Wisconsinites experience homelessness, with an estimated more than 4,700 individuals experiencing homelessness in Wisconsin in 2022. That's according to the report by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And whereas individuals experiencing homelessness in Wisconsin include families, veterans, unaccompanied homeless youth, and chronically homeless individuals. And whereas homelessness is a complex, systemic issue, which is why Wisconsin is proud to support and advance initiatives to promote increased housing security, affordable housing availability, and homelessness shelter services in communities across the state, as well as invest in helping individuals with housing and utility costs to ensure that families can stay in their homes and keep the lights and heat on. Whereas the Governor's Interagency Council on Homelessness also works throughout the year to understand the housing challenges facing the state and the scope of homelessness in communities while providing comprehensive, evidence-based recommendations to prevent and end homelessness statewide. And whereas every person deserves to have their basic needs met, and ensuring that every Wisconsinite has a safe and stable home is key to ensuring the health and well-being of individuals and communities. And whereas this month, the state of Wisconsin joins committed individuals and organizations throughout the state in recognizing the systemic issues that drive homelessness and in taking bold steps to meaningfully address housing insecurity in the state. Now therefore, I, Tony Evers, Governor of the state of Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Homelessness Awareness Month throughout the state of Wisconsin, and I commend this observance to all of our state residents. Signed on this day by Governor Tony Evers. This has been one of the issues that I've been focusing on for years. Even before I was elected to the State Assembly, I worked as outreach director for Congressman Sean Duffy. And this was an area that he was concerned about because besides we think homelessness in our cities, there is also rural homelessness and a lot of couch surfing and things of that nature. So we were looking at ways of trying to figure out for the 7th District and maybe the state of how to address this. And one thing that caught him by mind was the state of Utah and their Housing First initiative. It reduced the number of homeless individuals by thousands. And when I first was elected, I joined a committee that was chaired by the late Representative Bob Gannon, and his ranking member was the former Representative Fields. And we toured the state and different communities and learned a lot. And first of all, the increased affordable housing. That is something that is essential. And this was in 2017, one of the areas that really did a great job at this was the city of Milwaukee. They did a Housing First initiative, and I went and toured some of those locations. Because if we're going to address some of the problems that these homeless individuals have with drug addiction, mental health, whatever that case, they first need to get a roof over their head and be able then to address what they might need. So that's an area we need to continue. We have problems providing services for folks that are housed with mental and substance abuse. So we need to increase that to also include some of our homeless individuals. You know, it's amazing when I talk to some of the folks that are homeless, we have such a stigma in the general public thinking when they walk by it's all the same, and it's not. Individual reasons might be being molested as a child, a rape. I ran into a gentleman that I knew had his own business at a warming center for a meal, and he was there because he had a gambling addiction, lost everything, his wife, family, house, job, everything. And that's the thing that kind of struck me is like all of us are one major financial incident away of facing the same thing. So we got to look past that stigma, that thinking that all the folks out there want to be that, want to be homeless. It's not. And you know, when you try to go up and talk with the individuals, it's a little rough because they sometimes don't want to share right away. And that's one thing I say about our Wausau community. They really have done a great job of reaching out. They've combined a community partners campus, which all the different, the warming center, the neighbor's place, which is a food pantry, and other things for this all in one central location. And that is great. We also took the executive director of the warming shelter in Catholic Charities there, and she now works for the city with the police department, because what she's done is made a connection with these individuals. When I go out point in time with her and their group, she knows everybody and they know her, and that relationship helps. Because if you just go up and say, you know, here's money or something of that nature, you're not making that connection. And they're not feeling comfortable in sharing it all with you. So it's important to make that connection and strengthen these agencies. Another place that is doing great for us is the Joseph Project. Pastor Yao Yang has done a great job. Last time we had I think over 14 class members, and 4 were homeless. They go through this course, they learn how to write a resume, how to interview. We go in and do mock interviews, and they get jobs at manufacturing to get on their feet, to kind of get out of that environment that caused them to be addicted to alcohol or drugs, and let them build on a career and get themselves up and out. It's a great, great organization. And, you know, we're doing a pretty good job of collecting data and maybe some more. But again, one data point that HUD doesn't recognize is couch surfing. And I wish the federal government would count that in their homeless count. Because I know in our 2 school districts, in Wausau and D.C. Everest, there are hundreds of children that are there homeless under the school's guidance or their determination of what homeless is. And so that's always a problem. When will they stay in school? Will they go to another school district? So we need to do with that. So again, with the continuum of care, the Adopt a Housing First approach that prioritizes providing stable housing at first step in addressing homelessness. And this approach, coupled with a continuum of care model that offers a range of supportive services, has shown promising results in reducing homelessness in various communities I had mentioned. It's important to recognize that solving the homeless crisis does require sustained effort and collaboration among many various stakeholders. Some of those are churches and maybe religious-based groups, but they are there to help, and they do an outstanding job to do it. By combining these immediate interventions with long-term strategies, yes, Wisconsin can make progress in addressing homelessness and improve the lives of the vulnerable individuals and families. Thank you.